Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. AGNDD intelliReport topic. August 2025. Indonesian protests. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated Wikipedia-sourced video article. Indonesia erupts in... Protests in Indonesia erupted over a proposed Rp 50 million, $3,057 monthly housing allowance for parliament members, 10 times Jakarta's minimum wage, amid rising food, education costs, layoffs, and tax hikes. DPR members' total income exceeds Rp 100 million, $6,062 monthly, with NGO Fitra estimating up to Rp 230 million, $13,943, and budgets rising to Rp 1.6 trillion in 2025. Former official Mahfud MD claimed earnings could reach billions. Insensitive remarks by MPs like Nafa Urbach, Ahmad Saroni, and Eko Patrio fueled public outrage, prompting some apologies. On August 25, 2025, protests spread to Medan, North Sumatra, where thousands of students, workers, and ride-hailing drivers demanded the central government scrap new tax policies. Violence erupted as police blocked roads to the regional parliament building. Protesters set tires ablaze and erected barricades, sparking clashes that injured dozens on both sides. On August 27th, protesters led by Tanjung Pura University's Student Council stormed the West Kalimantan House of Representatives to oppose increased allowances for its members. 15 were arrested by provincial police on charges of resistance and property damage. They were released 2 days later after signing statements vowing not to repeat such actions. On August 28th, thousands of students, activists, and labor union members protested in Jakarta against outsourcing, low wages, mass layoffs, and labor taxes. Peaceful labor demands turned violent as students clashed with police, who used tear gas and water cannons, leading to arrests and transport disruptions. Similar protests occurred in Gorontalo, Surabaya, and other cities. Over 600 students were detained nationwide, with allegations of mistreatment. Media coverage was restricted, and cloud seeding rumors surfaced. The government formed a task force on layoffs, but protests reignited after a taxi driver's killing. On August 28, 2025, Indonesian police used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse protesters near Parliament, leading to chaos. A mobile brigade armored vehicle ran over and killed 21-year-old Gojek driver Afan Kurniawan, who was not protesting. Another driver, Mo Umar Amarudin, was seriously injured but survived. The incident sparked outrage with trending #Polisi Pembunuh Rakyat and comparisons to Tiananmen Square. Afan's funeral drew crowds, including officials met with anger. Police arrested 7 involved officers for investigation. Protests in Indonesia, sparked by student Afan Kurniawan's death, intensified with students and motorcycle taxi drivers demanding accountability and the police chief's removal. Demonstrations hit Jakarta's police headquarters, parliament, and other sites, leading to tear gas use, road closures, and work-from-home orders. Military forces, Corps Marinir, Kostrad, deployed barricades, negotiated with protesters, and cleared burned vehicles. Incidents included looting, fires at stations, damaged CCTVs, and MRT disruptions. Heavy rain and night clashes persisted, with Transjakarta suspending services and medical aid from university alumni. Protests erupted across Indonesia over the death of Afan Kurniawan, spanning cities like Banda Aceh, Medan, Bandung, Surabaya, Surakarta, Pontianak, and more. In Bandung, rioters burned buildings, injuring police and Governor Deddy Mulyadi amid clashes. Surakarta saw tear gas backfire on police with vandalism and a council building torched. Surabaya protesters demanded justice, igniting fires near government offices and disrupting traffic. Pontianak focused on anti-brutality and economic demands. Unrest involved tear gas, looting, and injuries continuing into the night. Following Afan Kurniawan's death, protests erupted across Indonesia on the 30th of August, with clashes in Jakarta involving rocks, firecrackers, gunfire, and tear gas. Demonstrations spread to Surabaya, Madiun, and other cities, causing Transjakarta suspensions and MRT vandalism. Services were made free for a week. Mobs looted MP Ahmad Saroni's Tanjung Priok home, taking luxury items like an Iron Man statue, cars, and cash, shouting "Public's money." Similar raids hit Ekopatrio's Setiabudi residence, appliances stolen, and Uyakuya's in Duren Sawit, with crowds destroying fences and yelling, "Destroy it!" Nasdem sites were also targeted. Riots erupted in Surabaya, Indonesia on August 30th, with protesters damaging Hotel Sahid, looting a police station, and setting Grahadi State Building ablaze using Molotov cocktails. Crowds, including youths, chanted slogans and looted valuables. Protests spread to Malang, 16 police posts destroyed, 61 arrested, Mataram, parliament torched, and other cities like Pekalongan and Madiun. East Java governor distributed aid amid unrest. Indonesian MPs in Sydney faced student backlash over their working visit. On August 30th, 21-year-old University of Amikom Yogyakarta student Reza Sendi Pramata was killed during a protest at Yogyakarta Special Region Police Headquarters in Sleman. He joined the demonstration, but his friend's motorcycle stalled amid tear gas and violence. Allegedly beaten by police, Reza died at Dr. Sarjito Hospital. His family refused an autopsy and won't file a report. Students held a march to his burial site. Sultan Hamengkubuwono X urged an investigation, while Police Chief Anggoro Sukartono is probing the incident but can't confirm a viral beating video. Protests in Indonesia escalated, with looters targeting Finance Minister Sri Mulyani's Bintaro home, stealing valuables amid coordinated chaos. Crowds gathered at Speaker Puan Maharani's residence, thwarted by police. Nafa Urbach's ex-husband's house was mistakenly looted. By morning, Jakarta calmed, with cleanup in Senayan and elsewhere. President Prabowo summoned coalition leaders, reversing housing allowances and imposing travel moratoriums, alleging treason. Defense Minister ordered crackdowns on looters. Fires hit police HQ, arrests made. VP met dubious motorcycle taxi reps. Night patrols were deployed citywide. Riots in Indonesia. In Mamuju, West Sulawesi, student protests outside Regency and Parliament buildings escalated into riots. Protesters waving Indonesian flags alongside the Straw Hat Pirates' Jolly Roger, an opposition symbol, attempted to breach the buildings, met with police tear gas. In Blitter, crowds attacked the city police headquarters on August 30th, 2025, with clashes at Sudirman Street. They tried to arson, vandalize, and loot the Regency DPRD office, arriving in 4 waves. The office nearly burned. 143 suspects were arrested, many intoxicated, including outsiders from Central Java and Kediri. Jakarta police deployed 5,369 officers to secure Parliament amid motorcycle taxi drivers' protests. Minor, peaceful demonstrations by students and civil society occurred at the main entrance, targeting lawmakers rather than police. The back entrance remained empty. BMSI withdrew due to security concerns, and protesters dispersed by 18 o'clock WIB. Parliament resumed sessions, including budget talks with the armed forces and drafting a domestic workers' protection law. Army Chief Maruli Simanjuntak noted the situation has stabilized. MP Said Abdullah announced plans to repeal house allowances, with further benefits under review. Protests erupted across Indonesia amid student demands for justice, stalled bills, for example asset confiscation, domestic worker protections, and better teacher pay. In Tangerang, 16-year-old Andika Lutfi Hassan died from demo injuries. Peaceful rallies occurred in Sidoarjo, Bogor, Yogyakarta, and Bekasi, with security oversight. In Samarinda, 22 students were arrested, 18 released, for alleged Molotovs. Protests intensified with marches. Riots broke out in Tarakan and Ternate after negotiations failed despite initial agreements. Authorities engaged protesters, but some events turned chaotic. On September 1st, social media influencers released the 17+8 demands, compiling 25 key requests from 211 civil society demands, academic and labor union statements. formulated by figures like Salsa Erwina Hutagalung, Fatia Izzati, Abigail Lemuria, Andovi de Lopez, Andhaita Furseli Utami, and Jerome Poland. These target government institutions. They include 17 short-term demands due by September 5, 2025, and 8 long-term ones by August 31, 2026. BEM-SAI spokesperson Muzamili San canceled the September 2 demonstration, citing fears of exploitation by external agent provocateurs in the 2025 Indonesia Kamas Jilid II rally. Local media reported BEM-SAI's upcoming protest will present 11 demands to the government. Despite this, other groups persisted with protests at 7 locations, including COMI, Indonesian Student Online Motorcycle Taxi Community, RP, People's Alliance Concerned About Energy, Berkarya Party, Indonesian Muslim Youth Central Jakarta Branch, Muhammadiyah University lecturers, and the People's Alliance of State-Owned Enterprises, each voicing distinct demands. Following Afan's death amid unrest, President Prabowo Subianto condemned police actions, pledged investigations, and visited the family with gifts including a house. Officials like West Java's governor offered foster care. Critics like Panji Pragiwaksono expressed anger, rejecting dialogue. VP Gibran visited injured protesters. Prabowo canceled China and UN trips, delegating to ministers. He summoned security chiefs, authorizing non-lethal force against anarchists. A cabinet meeting denied Finance Minister Sri Mulyani's resignation, with several ministers publicly supporting Prabowo. Indonesian governors responded to nationwide protests over Afan Kurniawan's killing with calls for peace. Jakarta's Pramono Anung urged restraint and preserved student allowances. North Sumatra's Bobby Nasution welcomed orderly demos and distributed groceries in solidarity. Yogyakarta's Sultan Hamengkubuwono X met protesters, listened to demands, and advised transparency. East Java's Kofifa Indar Parawansa engaged demonstrators, provided aid, and sought detainee releases. South Sulawesi's Andi Sudirman Sulaiman promoted dialogue after arson to foster unity and calm. Following protests in Indonesia, parliamentarian Ahmad Saroni was demoted and fled to Singapore, drawing criticism for cowardice. Viral photos showed Eko shopping in China. After protesters ransacked their homes, Eko, Uyakuya, and Nafa Urbach apologized, promising better performance. Saroni's apology was debunked as impersonation. Analysts urged resignations and self-reflection. House Speaker Puan Maharani offered condolences and aid, deemed tone-deaf. Party leaders from Gerindra, PDIP, Golkar, and Democrats called for re-evaluating or canceling parliamentarians' allowance hikes to appease public anger. Gojek confirmed Afan as a partner driver, offering condolences and support to his family. Both Gojek and Grab Indonesia changed their social media profiles to black in mourning. GoTo CEO Patrick Walujo visited Afan's family to express sympathies. Separately, Grab confirmed Mo Umar Amarudin as a partner driver and extended condolences to Afan's family. Indonesian religious leaders called for peaceful demonstrations amid protests. MUI's Asrorun Niam Shole condemned looting and vandalism as violations of religious and legal norms. Muhammadiyah's Haidar Nasir urged officials to introspect and serve as role models. Nadlatul Ulama's Miftachul Achyar advocated patience and dialogue. Christian groups, including the Communion of Churches, Indonesian Christian Church Synod, and Bishops' Conference, offered condolences for victims, criticized government insensitivity and police brutality, and demanded listening to protesters, repealing harmful policies, and transparent lawmaking. Yayasan Lembaga Bantuan Hukum Indonesia, YLBHI, Mengakam Pidato Prabowo karena gagal memahami akar kemarahan rakyat, yang bukan hanya ucapan kasar anggota DPR, tapi pemborosan dana untuk politisi alih-alih rakyat. Ilbihi menyerukan polisi hentikan kekerasan, reformasi kepolisian dan bebaskan demonstran tanpa syarat. Direktur Eksekutif Amnesty International Indonesia, Usman Hamid, menyatakan pemerintah melabeli demonstran dengan tuduhan terorisme hingga makar. Ini respons atas perintah Prabowo agar polisi dan TNI tembak peluru karet jika markas diserang. Pemerintah melebih-lebihkan tuduhan, termasuk narasi campur-tangan asing dan penyebar konflik terhadap aspirasi rakyat menentang kebijakan bermasalah. Gajah Mada University, UGM, led by Rector Ova Emilia, issued a statement expressing deep concerns over ongoing demonstrations. It calls for all parties to remain calm and avoid anarchy. UGM urges the government and parliament to repeal unjust policies that widen elite public gaps, threaten democracy, and favor oligarchs. Students are encouraged to express aspirations constructively while prioritizing safety. Authorities are asked to heed public voices, with police and military ensuring responsive, accountable actions to control the situation, prevent casualties, and restore order swiftly. Protests in Indonesia led to declining stocks and rupiah, with Bank Indonesia ready to intervene amid investor concerns over unrest. Multiple countries, including the US, Canada, UK, Australia, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, France, and Japan, issued travel advisories urging caution and avoidance of protest areas. Olympique de Marseille paid tribute to victims Afan and Umar. Malaysian Deputy PM expressed confidence in peaceful resolution via dialogue. Foreign nationals supported affected drivers by ordering and sharing food. The UN called for investigations into 6 deaths, emphasizing rights and media freedom. China urged protection for its nationals and understood Prabowo's summit absence. On August 29, 2025, Indonesia's markets faced turmoil from political protests. The IDX composite, IHSG, dropped 2.27%, its worst in 2 weeks, while the rupiah fell nearly 1% to ARP 16, 475 USD, the lowest since August 1st. Bank Indonesia intervened in FX markets and bought bonds for stability. By August 30th, signs of recovery emerged. Weekly IHSG dipped 0.36% to 7,830.49 amid 40% higher transaction values and sustained foreign buying. However, IHSG plunged 3.34% at opening on September 1st, signaling ongoing volatility. Widespread unrest in Indonesia caused severe damage to public infrastructure. In Jakarta's Senen area, the Toyota Rangga Transjakarta station was burned and looted, with protesters stealing items amid tear gas clashes. In Surabaya, Hotel Sahid's lobby was shattered, Grahadi State Building's key rooms were charred and looted, and the historic Tegal Sari police building was 90% destroyed by fire. Across regions, 37 DPRD buildings were torched, including in Makassar, 3 deaths, 5 injuries, Mataram, and Kediri. 7 toll roads were closed for repairs due to damaged gates and equipment. Protests in Jakarta caused major disruptions to transportation. Transjakarta suspended all operations due to damaged bus stops near police headquarters, diverting routes for safety. MRT services were limited to Lebak Bulus Block M, closing stations like Istora Mandiri and ASEAN. Both systems were made free for a week starting August 30th amid infrastructure damage. In Surabaya, August 29th, protests rerouted Surabaya bus and others, ending services early. Disruptions continued on August 30th with early stops for Trans Semanggi. Partial services resumed on August 31st, bypassing riot-affected areas near Grahadi. Violent protests on the 28th of August disrupted shopping malls across Indonesia, especially in Jakarta and Surabaya, leading to closures and reduced hours. Atrium Senen closed indefinitely. Senayan Park and Lipo Mall Nusantara shortened to 12:30 WIB. Plaza Senayan staff removed luxury items to prevent looting. Sarina closed at 16 o'clock WIB with barricades. Plaza Surabaya evacuated at 16 o'clock WIB. Tunjungan Plaza shut at 19 o'clock WIB and halted operations on the 30th of August, guarded by tanks. A police station in Ayani Mega Mall, Pontianak, was torched. Military vehicles protected other malls like Puri Indah and Taman Anggrek. Pakuwan Mall Jogja closed on the 30th of August. APPBI urged wiser government action. Safne, an Indonesian digital rights watchdog, reported that civil society leaders' phone numbers were falsely shared as parliament members, causing spam and threats. Protests in Jakarta and Bandung faced content moderation, feature restrictions, power outages, and suspected arson of optical cables, disrupting information flow. TikTok and Instagram suspended live streaming, impacting protest documentation and small businesses. TikTok called it a voluntary safety measure amid government claims of disinformation. Actor Fedi Nurul accused Minister Motya Hafid of lying, while Jerome Poland suspected ulterior motives. Amid protests in Indonesia, major universities in Jakarta, Bandung, Makassar, Yogyakarta, and Surabaya, such as the University of Indonesia, Bandung Institute of Technology, Hasanuddin University, and Gadjah Mada University, shifted to online learning to prioritize student safety and academic continuity. Schools in Jakarta, Bandung, Surabaya, Yogyakarta, and Palembang adopted similar measures. Education Minister Abdul Muti, after meeting President Prabowo, proposed nationwide online classes for schools near protest zones. As protests intensify across Indonesia, citizens demand economic justice, challenging lawmakers to prioritize public welfare over privileges amid growing unrest.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers!